By the way, stand by. Audio soundbite number 22. Here's Bruce in Melbourne, Florida. Bruce, great to have you on the EIB network. Hello.
Rush, thank you for taking my call, and happy holidays. Listen, I'm one of your listeners who does support government shutdown, and I really do feel the will of the people is not reflected in these current polls. And when you're coming up against extreme measures that are being done by this current administration and just the inactivity of Congress, you really need to counterbalance with an extreme, supposedly unpalatable action like the government shutdown. And I base this on 5 reasons. And you sort of previously alluded in one of your segments what they are. The first one is all the entitlements did go out. The government employees were paid their salaries. Critical services were still available. Nobody died. Nobody was maimed. And the most important thing is we found that we elected officials such as Ted Cruz and the Lees out there and Gomers who stood by their platform that they would do anything necessary to really retard bad legislation, bad executive orders. And they've done that. And I think that infuriates the Mitch McConnells and the Boehners and the Karl Roves out there. And what I do hope is that this current batch of newly elected congressmen will really yield to what their constituents, have voted them in, based on saying they would do what it takes.
That is the thing. Let me stop you here because you're right on the money, I think. The point when you get right down to the government shutdown, the people that elected Republicans are for it. If that's the only thing available to stop Obama, and by the way, we're not even talking shutting down the government. The government does not get shut down, as he just illustrated. Back pay for people that are sent home, which is very few. Christmas turkeys for those that don't get them. There's retroactive back pay. The welfare checks go out. It's not even a shutdown. But if the people voted in this last election to stop the implementation of any more of the Obama agenda, and if the only way to do it is to defund it, and if then they want to call that a government shutdown, most people support it. But then the Washington Post trots out this poll that shows that 53% of people would blame the Republicans for a government shutdown and that 74% oppose a government shutdown. Well, if you just ask a dry ball question, do you favor shutting down the government or leaving it open? Well, what the hell are people going to say? This whole shut down the government thing has come to mean something that is not even practical in terms of what really happens. It's not realistic. But I agree with you. I don't think most people would have a problem with it. We shut down the government in 1995. The government shuts down more often than you would realize. But I think I read the government shutdown last year that everybody's here so hot to trot about was actually an 85%, 15% shutdown is what happened. 15%. And Obama was in charge of it. White House tours, he closed them. Secret Service was still fully staffed. They could have done them. He closed the World War II memorial to World War II vets and opened it to pro-illegal immigration activists in a thumb-in-the-eye move. It really is fat because I think it's a diversion anyway. I think it's an excuse. It's a diversion. It's a trick. This whole government shutdown thing. But I appreciate the